Hi, my name's Matt. This is the mobility workout from our live virtual education course. So if anybody who's looking to recap on it, then feel free to watch this back as many times as to help you as well. The first exercise we're going to do is a TRX wall slide. So we've got the strap set up at mid-length, standing facing away from the anchor point. What we're going to do is we're going to put your hands through the foot cradles and stand and walk yourself into a position where you feel as if you've got a bit of a stretch all the way through to the shoulders. Now I'm going to take a split stance here just to allow me to adjust where my foot position needs to be to get the most amount of stretch from it. I'm going to inhale and reach up and exhale and bring the elbows back and down. Now the whole goal here is to try to get as much of a stretch through the shoulders as possible. So as we go through these movements, just think about maintaining breathing, thinking about keeping a low to moderate load of intensity through the body. It's about moving and feeling that the joints are going to be experiencing a new, deeper range of movement. From here, we're going to stand facing towards the anchor point as we go into our lower back stretch. Taking hold of the handles, what we're going to do here is start with your elbows around about 90 degrees, and then from here, just lower yourself down into this stretch. Now think about allowing the weight to go into your hips so that the arms get a nice long stretch. Align your head looking down towards the floor so your ears are in between your arms, and just find out where that stretch is feeling. It might feel like a long stretch through the upper back, it might feel like a little bit of a stretch through the hamstrings. From here I'm going to bend my right knee as I look underneath my left armpit. And when I'm in this position, what I'm trying to do is think about putting my left hip back. Come back into the centre, and let's rotate it over to the opposite side. Again, allowing your weight to transfer into the back corner of the hip, and then from the hip you can really start to try and lengthen through. Just to try and get a little bit more length through the spine, you start to feel a little bit of distraction coming through the shoulders, so that becomes a long, wide position as well. Come back to the centre, we'll go to the opposite side. Good. Come back to the centre for me. Slowly roll up through your spine again. Now the next exercise we're going to have a look at is the T-spine rotation. So we're going to place the straps into a single hand mode. Put them down nice and securely to keep that in a nice strong position. I'll do the side facing towards you to be earliest. So hand is going to be in front of the sternum. I want you to extend the arm and just set yourself up into a comfortable range of movement. Shoulder blades back and down. And then from here, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, rotate the arm away and behind you. Breathe in and bring yourself back to the centre. Reset your shoulder blades and your spine each time. So again, because it's a low to moderate load, you're just trying to explore where your body feels comfortable to get to. Now if your eyes are looking towards your thumb, what should happen is you'll start to notice that your thumb goes a little bit further each time that you rotate into that position as well. Good. And let's take it over to the opposite side. You'll see me rotate towards you, so again the hand comes into the sternum, arm reaches over the top, just start to extend through the arm that is holding onto the handle. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you rotate around, eyes looking towards your thumb, opening up through the shoulder. Breathe in and bring yourself back to the centre, reset the shoulder, reset the spine. Breathe out and rotate around. Create that nice deep space. Good. Bring yourself back to the centre again. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath in. Exhale as you rotate the fingers around, eyes looking towards the thumb, and then slowly bring yourself back into the centre again and shake out your arms and legs there. Next exercise we're going to have a look at is a TRX wide hinge. So we're going to take it out of single hand mode. What we're going to do is take your feet as wide as you feel comfortable to do. Hands are going to be in line with around about the bottom of the ribs, and then from here, looking straight ahead of you, I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, push your hips back and your fingertips forwards. Trying to create as much distance as possible from the tailbone all the way through to your fingertips. Breathe in, bring yourself back up. And again, push your hips back, reach your fingertips forwards. And you'll feel that you're pressing down through the handles just to give you a little bit of security, just so that you can transfer your weight through your hips and try to create as much length as possible. This will also help you just maintain a nice long spine as you extend and reach into those positions, and then bring yourself back up again. Good. The next one we're going to have a look at is a TRX squat row. So I'm going to start with my hands right next to my shoulders. I extend my arms back, I lower my hips towards my heels to find what range feels comfortable. Now I'm going to extend the legs and I'm going to pull myself right back up to the handles. Now each time I go into this position, I'm creating my masses and spaces at every opportunity. So my head is always looking up towards the anchor point and my shoulder girdle pulls back and down first, so it allows my chin to stay away from my chest before you start to lower yourself back into position again. Now this is quite a steep angle, but at the same time the goal is mobility, and the mobility is coming from your hips, your knees and also your ankles as well. Let's come back up one more time. Now we're going to progress this exercise into a little bit of a combination where both movements are coming in together and then bring yourself all the way back up. So it's like a combination where there is no strict difference. So you're almost working the two movements into one fluid movement now. Now this next one, we're going to go into that bottom up squat. So from this nice deep position, and again what I want you to do is just almost play with your feet in terms of where that weight distribution is. Now think about pulling yourself forward so that the weight is directly underneath you now. Straighten through your spine, keeping your eyes looking forwards, and you should be able to find that if you wanted to lift a foot up, you've got that really nice deep range of movement from here. And then from there, stand tall. Let's go for this again. So extend the arms, lower your hips down towards your heels, pull yourself forwards so that you've explored all of that range of movement, and you can have a little sway from side to side. You could potentially lift a foot up. You might even start to be able to rotate the foot position, and that will allow you just to find where your hips feel comfortable. And then from here, nice light grip. So we've still got a little bit of tension on the strap, but it's not because they're pulling you up, and you just stand up nice and tall. One last time, extend the arms back, lower your hips down towards your heels, bring yourself forward so your weight is distributed, and then from here, stand up nice and tall as well. The next exercise we're going to have a look at is a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Now I'm going to fully lengthen the straps here, just to allow me to keep inside of the camera's angle here. But I've got my arms directly in front of me at shoulder height. One foot in front, one knee rested onto the floor, and from here, I'm actually going to reach forward to take up as much extension as possible in my hip, and then in order to work in this transverse plane, I'm going to reach out towards the side. Now this increases the amount of extension that you get in the hip, but also external rotation as well. Bring yourself back to the centre, and let's roll again. So rolling forwards, taking up all the extension in the hip, reaching out over towards the side so you get a really long stretch, come back into the centre, and back. Let's go one last time. Breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out as you reach across. And again, reach through the fingertips, keeping the shoulder blades back and down, extend as much as possible, bring yourself back to the centre, and let's swap over sides. So again, from this position, roll forwards, and then breathe out as you reach into that almost diagonal position. Good. Come back to the centre and back. See if I can reach a little further this time. Extending through the hip, then reaching outwards, creating as much length through the fingertips as possible. Good. Come back to the centre and back. Last time then, so roll forwards, reach across, work with your breath, bring yourself back into the centre. Good. Bring yourself up to a standing position. Now the last one that we're going to have a look at is the TRX side-to-side Cossack stretch. So I'm just going to bring the straps up to that mid-length again. You do have the option of keeping them at fully lengthened at this position, because again it could help some people keep into a nice low position. So I'm going to take the feet fairly wide here. Now the goal here is to lower your hip over towards one of your heels into a nice deep position. Now just checking out this foot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot onto the heel and allow me to sink back down just a little bit deeper. And then I'm going to come back up using my hands to help get me out of that nice deep position, and then across over to the opposite side, and again pivoting onto that heel just to allow my hips to drop down closer to the heel that's on the floor. From here, let's bring myself back up, use my hands. Let's lower down this one last time, but this time instead of coming back up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer, staying as low as possible into this nice deep position. So now the goal is to try and really stretch out through the hips. So it's trying to stay low, and I'm using the straps just to allow me access from one side over to the other. And what you're going to get is a really nice stretch through the inner thigh, deep into kind of the groin and the hip flexor position as well. And that is our TRX Mobility Workout from our live virtual active courses.